Hey guys, welcome back to SEDUCE Me to the Ultimate. So I'm pretty sure we did Matthews. Is that Damien? Yes. Okay, so I already did this part. I'm just gonna rush through it. So I'm gonna eat some soup, right? And I was like, wow, this looks a little sketchy. But as I'm about to eat it, Diana comes in.
I suggest not trying that.
That's loud.
As good as it smells, the taste would not sit well with you.
And she says, don't eat that. And I'm like, alright.
It's not much, but it's human food.
She gives me some bread and cheese, and I'm like, sweet. And I start to eat it.
I can tell. Take a moment to finish eating. Then we'll head for the ritual.
And then I'm like, oh boy, and I have to stop eating and go do the ritual now.
We finished.
Let's go.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I want to go home to my bay. So we go back to the war room.
You're in doubt?
And they're all getting
Have to
ready
be after the last time we tried sending her home.
to do the gateway
Do we
spell.
No.
Send me home.
You're on your own this time. But we'll make sure you survive casting it.
This spell should work, however, because we'll be using energy material. It will only require a slice of your energy on top of these items, which your guard can refill immediately after this.
Just make sure you don't die casting it.
So, are you ready to return home?
Oh, am I ever? I'm so ready. And look, we're doing some crazy spells. And what could possibly go wrong, right? Nothing ever goes wrong in my room. Okay, so look, it's the bedroom. We're so close.
Hurry on.
I'm running. We're going. I'm almost
She
home.
will never
Oh,
leave
no.
this world alive!
Who would have foreseen this? It doesn't work.
Damn it!
That should have...
We must have missed something. Was there anything we had forgotten?
I don't think so.
I verified everything myself.
Then why was the Demon Lord able to overpower a gate spell?
I highly
I
doubt
don't
you
know.
know
Why are you
either,
yelling?
brute.
Stop fighting!
You know, how does this
Are you
work?
all right, Isaiah?
These straps aren't connected.
I'm fine. Is
Diana's fine, and I'm like,
demon
oh my
lords
god,
have done
I
something
cannot
more than
believe
simply
I
wrong.
can't go home. I'm getting
could he
so
have done?
The
sad.
Demon Lord is incapable of doing anything of the sort. His lackey imps must have done something to her.
I'm
spell?
cursed.
She will not leave the demon world alive. He must have placed some sort of curse on her to prevent her from leaving this plane. In order to leave, she'd have to die.
Oh no, then I can't.
Are you suggesting
I'm barrier
barrier
cursed.
curse?
That would explain the red energy that sealed the tear.
what? Dark magic like that requires.
Blood of a
Thousand demons. How could
He must have
somebody do
sacrificed
that?
part of his army to cast a curse on her that would prevent her from leaving.
The Demon Lord is that desperate for her.
Because I am important.
The only way to break that kind of curse is to kill the caster, the Demon Lord himself.
She's trapped here until this war is over.
Oh no. Why? I want to go home. Ah! All of a sudden, this light shows up.
Something's coming!
And
Ready
I'm like,
yourselves!
what is it? Who can it be?
Who are
The brothers? Wait, don't touch them. I know them. They're my harem. Damien, you came to rescue me.
Wow!
And then all of their other side hoes show up.
I gotcha!
The ones that are
Love, I've
important.
Whoa!
Wait.
Are you alright?
Wait, this one's weird. Wait, that's mixed up. I swear this chick was someone else's chick in one of the other routes. Did they mix up the people?
I'm so glad you're safe.
Oh, Damien. Simply enjoy the moment. As Damien and I had our moment, his brother stepped up near us, almost in a protective circle. However, Sam moved towards Diana, glaring hard.
You've got 10 seconds to explain why she's here, bitch.
Damn.
I'm going to ignore that insult for the sake of the bride.
No, she's nice
However,
now.
I wasn't the one who brought her here.
You're such a terrible liar.
Look, it was the Demon Lord. Guys.
Did she bring you here?
It was the Demon Lord. Who else can it be? Turning my head back to Damien, I saw a serious look in his eyes. I'd only seen that look once before when Diana had confronted me and showed me his past. I shook my head. No, she didn't bring me here.
I beg your pardon? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Why did he bring her here?
What do you think? Like, you're my harem. I am important to you. He's your
He
crazy
wanted to lure
father.
you all back, knowing that at least you, Damien, would chase after her, and the others would follow. Obviously, his plan worked.
But they came for me.
Well, thank you for keeping her safe. We'll be...
She can't leave.
And
Right.
why not?
I'm
She's been
barrier
cursed by the
cursed,
demon.
guys. We gotta join
She
the
can't leave
revolution.
unless she dies or until we kill him.
You plan to kill him?
We're
Oh, yeah, we
obviously
do.
not
That
going to
guy's a
choose
jerk.
before. We've been fighting the Demon Lord for 10 years now.
I know a little something
well
about
have another
jerk
reason to kill
fathers, let me tell you. My eyes looked at Damien, wondering what he was thinking. Diana then shrugged.
However, it will take some time to plan out our attack. We can't just walk into his castle and slit his throat.
Sadly. Damien finally looked back to me, staring into my eyes as if he was trying to find some sort of response. I stared back, trying to find some hint as to what he was thinking in his eyes. He slowly leaned forward and kissed my forehead before turning back to Diana.
How much time do you need?
1 week.
I shot my head towards Diana in surprise. 1 week?
Where is this number coming from, Succubus?
We need to fully prepare ourselves for the final stage, which I'm certain will only take a couple of days. We've pinned him into a corner. The Demon Lord will fall.
That's rather bold to
Because
assume.
all of your plans so far have been
She's
going
right, though.
perfectly.
We can prepare everything in that time frame, right?
Just like all your
And if
other
he does the same
correct
and attacks us
calculations.
before then,
He won't.
I watched as Diana walked over and cleared the table of materials they had gathered for the gate spell, revealing a physical map of the Abyssal Plains. She pointed to a spot on the map, a peninsula surrounded by water labeled as the Decaying Sea.
We'll cast a barrier spell along the edge of the peninsula and around the castle. He and his army won't be able to move from that spot until we break it ourselves, which will be during the siege.
Where would we get the energy needed for that kind of spell?
We won't be using energy.
The other rebel demons in the room suddenly tensed up, staring at Diana in surprise. What was she gonna do?
My lady, you're not suggesting...
Not
The Demon
that!
Lord has shown how far he is willing to go to win this war. It's only fitting to show the extent we'll go to in response.
Are we gonna kidnap people?
As much as I agree with you, this seems a little rash.
We gotta be rash.
What are you guys
This is
talking
war.
about?
Are they allowed to know?
I plan to put a barrier curse around the Demon Lord's castle and army. It's temporary, so it won't need the blood of 1,000 demons. But it will need the sacrifice of at least one demon life.
and I assume you'll be sacrificing one of my soldiers.
Is this our only option?
There are other options, but they will most likely take a lot of energy to pull off. It just depends on what we want to do. If we want to do this immediately, then the barrier curse is indeed the best option.
I'm not opposed to performing the curse. As rash as it is, it will make our lives easier in the long run.
You expect me to hand over one of my men? My soldiers joined the rebellion to kill the Demon Lord, not to get their throats slit before even seeing the final battle.
It's wrong, but can we really afford to spend any more energy? Diana already spent a lot trying to send the human back.
What is the other option?
The rabbit woman and the fairy moved towards the map and pointed at a peninsula.
We could form tall rock walls around the castle. Box him in. It will take a lot of our energy, but we can recover in that week period.
And what will stop the Demon Lord from tearing down the walls?
I can imbue the walls with holy magic.
How does
How
a
the
demon
fuck
have
did you
holy
get
magic?
You look and smell like a demon.
The guard held up his wrapped hand, letting the beads around it jangle with a sudden motion.
I've had the ability to use holy magic ever since I was taken in by my lady's family. There's no doubt that I am a demon, but I can't recall how I gained this ability.
How is holy magic different from demon magic?
It's white magic. Unlike demon magic, holy magic isn't so finicky. Think of it as warding or dispelling magic. You can't bless air or anything that doesn't have physical form, but you can bless objects to fight back against other forms of magic.
If the walls were blessed with holy magic, the Demon Lord wouldn't be able to escape until we released him.
Why not just trap him forever?
That's idiotic. He would still be a threat regardless. Holy magic doesn't last forever. And stone will crumble eventually.
He's right. We wouldn't be able to keep the walls up forever.
The situation became more and more complicated the more we discussed it. How are we going to go about this? Okay, so in a little bit they're going to make me choose for some reason. So I'm going to save it there so that Well, actually,
can't
it doesn't
just sit
matter
around and
too
debate.
much.
But is it worth killing someone to trap?
So in
we
Matthews,
finally
I
strike, we will lose
chose the
hundreds, if not
barrier
thousands of
spell,
soldiers
but in
anyway.
this one, I'm gonna go switch
Souls,
back and
fuck.
forth when I'm doing the guys' part.
We can still cage
I'm going to
him
choose
in.
the cage and see if it works. I mean the trap, sorry. Use the trap.
We can leave after this, meeting is over.
Are you sure this is the best choice?
No, but you guys are asking me for some reason. Everyone nodded, some in reluctance while the others did with confidence. I looked at Diana just in time to catch a twitch from her visible eye, but she shook her head and looked at Rabbit Woman.
Are you quite positive this will work?
I am very certain. Since it will be just 3 of us going, we can shadow travel there and be back by the morning.
Diana looked at her guard and nodded.
Very well. If you believe it will work, then I trust you will make sure it does.
As the guard nodded and slightly bowed, the other demons seemed to let out a sigh of relief. Were they worried about performing the curse? Diana shook her head before crossing her arms, looking directly at me.
So, since you'll be here for a while, we might as well give you names that you can use.
Okay,
to
so everyone
project
gets
your name.
named.
Are we?
Must.
For the sake of time, we'll use simple names. This is Rabbit, our magic advisor. Sergeant, commander of our armies. Shadow, leader of our assassins. And Faye, our nomadic force ambassador.
I prefer if one of them be named something like
Sergeant,
Angela.
I'm a commander, succubus. Shouldn't my name be commander?
You could be Steve.
It's easier on the tongue, though, to say sergeant.
My lady, what shall they call me?
You may call him Cero.
The only
He
one
is
with
my
an actual
personal
name.
guard, and he is always by my side.
The other demons in Sero seemed to be surprised. Was Sero his true demon name? Why would she give me his true name?
Are you sure?
Call him only if your life depends on it. Do not abuse this permission.
How could I possibly abuse this? Her eyes seemed to burn as she gazed into mine, full of hard intent and warning. I mentally noted her seriousness.
Well, now that we have a plan and introductions are out of the way, I believe we can end this meeting. We have a lot to accomplish in 1 week.
What about us? You don't expect us to sit around.
Actually, I do. You all don't belong on the battlefield.
They're too pretty for that.
Excuse me? Just hold on.
I will not take untrained and unarmed beings into a war zone.
Hold on. I interjected, stepping forward and crossing my arms to Diana. She seriously wasn't going to make us stand back while she fought the Demon Lord, was she? We can fight too!
You expect me to trust that you can fight in a war?
Oh yeah,
Let me and my
totally!
brothers train then. We're demons for fuck's sake. We know how to fight.
The boys stared at Diana and she turned her head towards Sam. He was right though. They knew how to train, so they knew how to fight.
You all realize this is a war, correct? You can die here.
We understand completely.
But this is important.
We know what the risks are.
You're not allowed to talk. Diana could only stare at her group as we challenged her proclamation. I wrapped my hand around my fiance's arm, frightened at the idea of participating in a war, but knowing that we all needed the strength we could muster to finish off the Demon Lord, this was the only way I could go home.
Very well. I can't exactly keep you here like prisoners, so it will be up to you if you choose to train for battle. However, I highly suggest just staying here and allowing us to handle it.
Do you have Netflix down here? Diana turned towards me and looked down at my outfit.
Lumen infere, bellum tebescere, serene.
She changed it. The white top shifted into a long-sleeved oversized tunic with a leather corset and vest, while the bottom part of the gown split and wrapped around my legs, forming into dark leggings. My shoes stretched into long, knee-high boots. I sort of envisioned myself like a pirate.
Hey, you look really nice. Good choice.
I blushed, getting used to the feel of the outfit. The corset wasn't tight, but it was still something new along with the rest of the garb. Damien smiled and wrapped his arm around my shoulder, hugging me to him.
You look really nice.
Thanks, Damien.
Faye, Rabbit, you both should finish your preparations and head over to the Demon Lord's castle for the spell.
How are you going to get there?
I'll get us there, no problem.
She has wings.
Just make sure we don't get stuck there or lost. No promises.
Cero, make sure the job is done.
I shall, my lady.
Sarah, Faye, and Rabbit began to make their way at the room as Diana turned to me and my group. As they left, Diana let out a small sigh.
I will take you to some rooms you may rest in.
Sweet. The wall to the room was filled with awkward silence. What were we supposed to do here? Damien and I were both human, and while, yes, we both knew he'd have to help in the war, he wasn't a demon anymore. This feeling the nervousness of a situation would take hold of me. This was going to be a rocky adventure. Who knew what would happen? I could guess only time would tell. I gripped Damien's hand harder, letting my nerves sink in. Naturally, Damien smiled and kissed my forehead.
It's okay. Everything will be alright, I promise.
I nodded, but some part of me was still fearful. That's not enough to ensure me that you, a human, and I, a human, are about to fight in a demon war. I looked up at Damien, seeking him focus on or following our guide to get us to our room. I was curious. What was going through his mind? I was sure he was worried when I was taken, but now that he had me back, what was he thinking of now? He's probably thinking about, this is gonna be weird without demon magic. Feeling my stare, Damien turned his head and looked down at me, furrowing his eyebrows in confusion.
What is it?
Well, yes.
I think it's a really bad situation. You're trapped here, and I'm human, so I can't do much to help in the war.
Exactly.
Still, I want to help and bring you back. I'll do everything I can to send us back home.
But if you die, well, that's not going to really work out well. I naturally hugged his arm to me, causing him to gasp a bit and look over, a faint blush running through his cheeks. He was so adorable, and I absolutely loved him. Whatever drew him to me made my heart feel absolutely lucky to have him. As we reached our room, I took it in that the ambassador room I had claimed the night before was officially sanctioned for me and Damien. Stepping in, I took a seat on the bed, feeling mild exhaustion sweep over me. However, Damien looked around the room in slight awe. Damien stepped around the room, looking around, observing every piece of decor. As he got to the mantel, he looked almost stunned to see the design and architecture of it. Damien? My voice caught his attention, causing Damien to jump up and look at me in surprise. He calmed down as he rubbed the back of his neck in nervousness.
Sorry, I've never really been in a room like this before, so this is a bit of a surprise to me.
Really? What kind of room did you have? I stared at Damien in shock. He had never seen a room like this. We were in the demon world, though. Isn't everything like this?
I never had a room growing up.
Were you homeless? I couldn't imagine Damien sleeping in the cold marble floor of the grand hall or even in a cell. My soul began to weep for him, but I knew it was just better to ask him about his experiences. How'd you sleep then?
Well, demons don't sleep at all, actually.
Well, I guess that actually makes sense when I think about it.
Well, other than having, sex. Demons rest.
That little giggle, though.
Like lying down and reading or something like that, but demons never close their eyes for long. It opens them up to being taken advantage of.
Then how the heck do demons function?
With energy and food. As long as a demon has both, or at least one or the other, they can keep functioning without needing to sleep. Lying down simply lets them stop using their energy.
Then what about the human world? Were you and the others pretending to sleep? Damien shook his head, driving another confused wet into my brain. Demons could sleep then, but they absolutely didn't need to?
When we went to the human world, we got to experience sleep for the first time. It was so good for us, and we felt relaxed, so we kept at it, like regular humans. Besides, the risks we had here are not the same as the risks in the human world.
That's fair.
I think we'll be safe to sleep, though. This is Lilith Castle, after all.
This place has a name? With a nod, Damien pointed over at the mantle, tracing through the air at the markings in the stonework.
If I remember right, James told me about the first succubus, Lilith, and how she gave birth to incubi and succubi from this very castle. Diana is her descendant, so she now owns this place.
Oh. So Diana really was a princess, as if I didn't think that she was before. Damien wrapped an arm around my shoulders and smiled.
At least we'll get some good sleep tonight.
True. I feel that we would be okay in our room. The castle was well fortified from what I knew, and Diana seemed to be on top of everything. Everything was like a well-oiled machine. What could go wrong? I'm sorry, Damien.
Huh? For what?
For what? I must have worried him sick, as if falling into the demon world was my fault somehow.
Were you really here a whole day?
I'm pretty sure I was.
To me, you were only gone for about 4 or 5 hours.
So you guys didn't even look for me until like 4 or 5 hours? Not when I didn't show up to our wedding within the next 30 minutes? There is no way that I've been gone for that short period of time. I remember sleeping in this room, going through the entire day and being in this world and trying to get home to him twice. To be fair, that all happened in like the same day, so...
Time runs differently between the human and demon world. A whole day here is about 5 hours in the human world. You weren't gone very long.
Was time different here? This world was full of surprises. How did everyone react?
We were all worried sick about you.
I know. I can only imagine what Damien went through in those 5 hours. When I didn't arrive, what was the first thing he did? What was the first thing anyone did? I felt guilty, but I also knew what had happened was out of my hands. Damien let out a small sigh and kissed my head.
When you didn't show up, we sent the girls to find you while my brothers managed to wipe everyone's memories and delay the wedding for a couple of days.
Jesus.
We didn't know how fast it would take us to find you.
Damien's grip tightened around me as he pulled me even closer to him.
I had to rely on my brothers to find you. There was no clue to where you were taken.
Aww.
So I had to sit and wait until they managed to locate you. Here. Then we came.
Then you came. Embrace him. I wrapped my arms around him, pressed my forehead to his shoulder, closing my eyes and taking in his scent and love. Eventually, Damien pulled away and stared down at me with a tired smile.
We should get some rest. There's a long week ahead of us.
Very true. I nodded in agreement, knowing exactly what he meant. We slowly crawled into bed and snuggled into each other's arms, embracing the darkness of slumber once more. Okay guys, I'm gonna end this here. So, we're gonna join the Demon War with Damien, but we're both humans, so that'll be interesting to see what happens. We'll pretty much just have to stand on the sidelines and like cheer or something. But yeah, if you like this, go ahead and leave a like. If you have any suggestions for games, leave them down below. And if you guys want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.